And we can't really have a discussion about ebook readers, I don't think, without talking about Amazon Kindle.
It is the king of ebook readers.
It is.
Right?
The Kindle, if you will. We could put a G in it, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have various options. I mean, I'm going to show the app very, very briefly. It could be a podcast in its own right. You have books you can buy. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you get books available to borrow with Prime. One money-saving tip: we're straying into audiobooks a little bit, but sometimes you can buy an audio narration significantly cheaper with Kindle than you can with Audible. So it may work out to be quite a lot less, even with the Kindle purchase as well, than the value of one of your credits if you think how much you pay for Audible a month. So do you have a look at that as a way to at least credit save, if not money save. So all I'm going to do with this is I'm going to go into the Kindle app. We're going to see if we want to buy a book, and we are going to start reading it. I will point out a flaw in the Kindle app as well when we're doing this. So I'm going to find Kindle.
Microsoft Swift Maps, row 17, Kindle, row 16.
There it is.
Double tap to Kindle, search Kindle out of grid. Showing items 1 to 3 or 4. Double tap to activate. Notifications, button from your library.
So
tap to activate.
We have tabs at the bottom of the Kindle screen. We have
Home, tab, selected, home, tab, selected,
we
out of
have
list.
home.
Tab, library, tab. Most recent book.th, store, tab. Double tap to activate.
And in the middle of your tabs, so you've got home, library, and then before the store tab, you have the most recent book that you got. It's in tab order if you swipe as well. I was exploring. And then finally, you have a more tab in the bottom right-hand corner. I said I'll show you how to buy a book. Obviously, this is Android, so you can do this. You're not forced to pull up a web browser as you might be on other mobile operating systems. So let's go to the store.
Store tab. Bookshop. Web edit box. Search in Kindle store. Search in Kindle store.
So we'll search in here. You'll have gathered or you will gather later on in this episode that I am a football fan. I think I've probably mentioned it before. So I'm going to see if Kindle has any books on my favourite team, which is Huddersfield Town, a sort of second tier football team in the UK. Let's see what it has.
Showing English. Keyboard. Delete. Go. Keyboard hidden.
And the go button or the search button, as with any, almost any next or button of that type, is sort of in the bottom right-hand corner. Unless you have a navigation bar, then obviously it's slightly above. So let's see what we have.
Navigate up. Kindle store. Notifications. Search page. Web Huddersfield Town. Edit box. Search in Kindle. 29 titles in Kindle content. Review. Link. Filter. Link. Huddersfield Town. Champions of England 1923-24, 1924-25, and 1925-26 by Jim Brown. Link. Double tap to activate.
So they weren't always second tier. They were champions of England almost 100 years ago. So I'm going to have a look at this.
Huddersfield Town. Champions of England 1923. Navigate up. Kindle store. Notification. Huddersfield Town. Champions of England 1923.
And we're essentially in a web view now. So I'm going to just find out how much it is. Then I'm going to navigate by heading to see if we can't find ourselves a description.
Links. Controls. Buy now. Button. Buy now. £4.99.
Oh, £4.99. That's quite expensive. Let's see if it's any good.
Headings. Swipe up. Buy in options. Heading 2. About the Kindle edition. Heading 2. Link. 214 pages worldwide. Enable screen reader. Supported advanced typesetting. Enable page flip. Enable link. Bullet. Length 214 pages. Bullet. Word-wise. Enabled. Bullet. Screen reader. Supported. Bullet. Enhanced typesetting. Enabled. Bullet. Page flip. Enabled. Description. Heading 3. Does the CR huge range of football books? Click on Kindle store and search for Desert Island Sport. In the 1920s, Huddersfield Town were the premier club in England. During that decade, they became the first club to win the league championship 3 times in a row. The story of Huddersfield's success is a footballing fairy tale, for just before they won their first championship, they had been on the brink of extinction. The men who saved the club then had the foresight to employ Herbert Chapman as their manager. In an unprecedented rate with tradition, they then gave them a free hand with team matters. They were product details. Heading 3.
So that's the description.
Lines.
I might buy this book.
Controls. The download sample. Button. Buy now. Button. Buy now.
Buy now.
Thank you. Web 2.
And it's bought it. It was that hard. There you go. I've obviously got one click set up on my Amazon account. So if I now go to my library.
Library tab. Library tab. Huddersfield Town. Champions of England 1923-24, 1924-25,
there it is.
25-26. Round. Jim. Book not downloaded. Row 1. Column 1.
Book not downloaded. Let's download that then.
Champions of England 1923-24, 1924-25, and 1925-26. Round. Jim. 36%. Download complete. Huddersfield Town. Champions of England 1923-24, 1924-25, and 1925-26. Desert Island Football Histories. Round. Jim. Successfully downloaded. The Devil's Shadow, Edward, Huddersfield Town. Swipe right and double tap to start continuous reading. Double tap for menu. Double tap and hold to select text. Kindle. Start continuous reading. Double tap to start text to speech. Out of print. Double tap to activate.
So I didn't actually swipe right. It did it all by itself and highlighted the text-to-speech button for me anyway. So that instruction was erroneous. I am going to start continuous reading.
Authors note only 4 teams of 1 at the lead. Start continuous reading. Double tap. The word on the wall is written to the format in the 1920s. Clubs like Huddersfield dominated the English game and probably the world scene. And taken into the chance. Several excellent books have been written about Huddersfield Town. Another spoke victorious 3-year championship period at the tail.
So this is going to be much faster than you want, but you can hear it's reading the book, which is the main thing. I'm now, though, going to lock the screen.
Tom Harding, Alex James, Michael Football Legend, 1988, Steven Sutherland, Chapman, Football Emperor, 1981, Higgins Reading, The World History of Football, England, 1995, I Don't Taylor, Andrew Ward, Simon English, Football Rounds of Win, 1996, and Football Event.
And I think eventually, if I'm not wrong, Warren, it will stop reading, won't it? Now I've locked the screen in the Kindle app.
It will stop reading when it gets to the end of that page.
Yeah, which is annoying because it does mean that you do have to have your screen unlocked when you are reading a Kindle book, which is a slight, I think, flaw because obviously you might knock it if it's in your pocket or something. But the Kindle app, as you can see, buying a book is painless. I hadn't quite appreciated, well, I had appreciated, I'd overlooked the fact that the speech would be at a different level to that of the screen reader, but it doesn't really matter. We're not here to read the book. We're here to show you how you read the book. So what actually happened, it told me to swipe right to start continuous reading. It then said continuous reading was highlighted and there was nothing to the right of it. When I double tapped, though, I then did have to swipe right to go and find continuous reading. So there was an extra double tap that I apparently had to do. This Kindle is still going.
Yeah, as soon as it finishes that page, it should be able to stop. Now, the thing
it's turned a page. It's not stopping.
Yeah. Now there are certain, if it's an older book, they don't have that limitation on older books for some reason.
That'll be why.
New modern books, for some reason, will not let you read with the screen shut off. And so that is one of those things that I wish Amazon will fix because it's a pain. If you're a blind person, I am not looking at the screen, so there's absolutely no reason for me to keep my godforsaken screen on, wasting my battery. I like to shut off my screen and simply listen to my book being read over my headset or whatever method that I want to read that book with. So this is something that we've been hounding Amazon over and asking them to fix, but for some reason they haven't. I can't wait to get one of the accessibility people on here so that we will kind of give them a little bit of a grief. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we should do that. And it must be possible because obviously they have screenless Android devices, don't they? Like the Polaris where the Kindle app works. So it can't be entirely screen dependent. There must be a way for them to do it.
Yeah. And then one thing I want to add about, the Kindle before we move away from the Kindle is that if you want to change your voice, like for instance, if you don't want to use your main TTS reader, is then what you want to do, first of all, is to change your TTS, your main TTS engine. For instance, if I were using Eloquence as my main TTS engine, and I would like to be able to use either Vocalizer or Acapella for my Amazon reading, then prior to opening that Amazon Kindle app, what you want to do is go switch your TTS to either the Acapella or the Vocalizer TTS, then go open a book in Amazon and let it start reading with that Acapella or Vocalizer TTS. And then you can go switch back to Eloquence TTS, and whenever you open a book, it's going to be reading it with either the Acapella or the Vocalizer TTS, depending on which one you chose. Now, the only drawback is that when you restart the phone, then of course it's going to revert back to your main driving TTS, and you'll have to go through that same process again in order to have that thing that you had earlier. And that's a little thing or a little walk around if you want to use a different TTS to read your Amazon Kindle books.
Excellent. Thanks, Warren.